Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Noobs to Pros. In today's episode, I'll be doing a speedrun of the new boss Raptor using the Warframe Loki. The reason for picking Loki is that he has one of the smallest shield and health pools in the game. And you can verify that using the mods that I have equipped. First of all, I would like to apologize for the delay in this video, and the main reason why I got delayed in making this video is because I just recently became a married man. Because of which, as you might imagine, I was unable to make any videos. So if you're still out there trying to farm for Nova, hopefully this episode should help you farm for Nova slightly more easier than you were able to before. One of the curious choices that I made in making this video is equipping the helmet that I have for Loki, and this is the helmet that you get either when you pay for it through Platinum in the shop or you get it in one of the alert missions. It gives you power efficiency, but it decreases some of your armor, and the reason why I have done this is so to sort of like simulate that if you are using a Warframe that is slightly underpowered and does not have the same armor values as some of the more tankier Warframes in the game, you can still farm for a Raptor on your own without any help. You just have to be more careful while you're doing it. Now let's get into the choice of weapons for this boss. You can pick almost any weapon combination and kill this boss. The only difference will be how quickly you will be able to kill him. In this case, however, I picked the Heck, which is a shotgun that you can make if you go into the market and purchase the blueprint, or alternatively you can just buy it from Pure Platinum. The reason why I picked the Heck is because I think it's one of the best weapons in the game. It has a lot of very consistent damage across the board. You can one-shot almost most of the enemies you come across, except very high-tiered ones. And even those you can very easily two-shot. The other weapons are not that important. Your secondary, as you'll see in the video, I never really actually use my secondary. And, well, you know, I think in most higher-level maps, you almost never use your melee weapons, just because more often than not, if you have to resort to your melee weapon, you are in really bad situation, and many bosses and even the normal enemies on really high tiered maps and planets will very easily kill you. So the other two weapons don't really matter. In my case, I picked the kunais just because, you know, they are really good secondaries, but you can pick anything and still do most of the same things that I'm doing. Okay, so in a true speedrun, what you want to do is you want to avoid all the smaller riffraff and all the lockers in the level, just because you're there not to farm for resources, but you're there to actually kill the boss as quickly as you can. That is a bit slowed down once you stop to kill all the smaller corpus in the level and open every locker that you come across. Now mind you, you don't want to take the corpus in this level very lightly, just because they can really hurt you if you do not pay enough attention to your health or to your shields. So I do recommend that if your character is not level 30 and is not packing mods that are max out the energy levels, that you use as many of your powers as you can to avoid as many confrontations as you can. If you get into a bigger confrontation, don't be afraid to use your powers to get out of them, just because you don't want to lose your health by the time you get to Raptor, because as you will see, Raptor can take away your health very quickly if you're not careful. So if you come across a giant group of corpus and you think you're going to take significant damage from them, just use your power. In the long run, it sort of like recharges if you're using something like Energy Siphon on your character. Now in this level, I'm a bit unlucky because this level turns out to be a really huge level and I have to traverse a lot of distance before I get to the boss. Generally, in my experience, the boss is you can get to the boss in about a couple of minutes. If you see my videos that I posted earlier, the one where I do the speed run with Frost, I find the boss really quickly, and I dispatch of him equally as fast. If you really want to optimize your farming, you should look at that video, just because I do almost everything right in that video. And I kill the boss and I'm at the extraction point in about 4 minutes, which is fairly good in my opinion, even though I think you can still save a couple of seconds, just because, I get distracted every now and then. If you're finding this boss harder, I suggest that you do it in a group, just because if you have a harder time soloing the boss, you will have to rely on other people within your group to somewhat help you sort of like get through this boss. In that case, the boss will be significantly harder, but the added advantage of having more teammates does offset that, just because if you do go down, there's a chance that somebody else will help you, will revive you, and you'll be able to take down this boss eventually. Here, my spidey senses start to tingle. I've done this boss a number of times, and as soon as the door opens, I know this is the area in which I will encounter the boss. First of all, what I try to do is I try to kill the smaller corpus in the map, just because I don't want to take extra damage from them while I try to focus down the boss. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you should not be doing what I'm doing right now, and that is stand on top of the central area in which there's two doors leading in and out. The reason for that is the boss has a very easy time hitting you with most of his attacks, so you basically have no chance of surviving the boss head on. Even with Rhino, you will have a very difficult time because he's not invincible for a long time. He just takes X amount of damage before his shields go offline. And so what you want to do is you want to go into this little greenhouse thing in the center, and you want to just pop in and out, take your shots. As soon as your heck empties, you just want to rush back inside, wait for the reload, wait for your shields to recharge, and just rinse and repeat this process over again. Now here, due to the fact that I take some unnecessary damage, I do use one of the healing salvos that I bought with me, just because I don't want to die on this run just needlessly. And so now I'm trying to just locate where the boss is. I take out the other little corpus that happened to stop by, and now what I do is I pop one of my decoys and try to attract the boss out. I finally managed to locate him. I'm thinking to myself, he's pretty far from for the shotgun range, so I pop back in, I pop back out, and as soon as he starts focusing me down, I hear the missiles coming, and sorry about the audio. I figured out that issue later after I had made this video, but this one will have to do without it. So as soon as I realize that the missiles are incoming, I pop inside, so I come out again, pop my decoy, shoot him with all my rounds, wait for him to open his wings, because that's when I seem to be doing more damage than regular, and then I empty all of my clip and actually go inside, and I'll just repeat this process until I kill this boss. If you look at the video, I actually don't spend that much time trying to kill the boss. It was more just trying to go through the level. So that is the challenge that you will be facing most of the time. It's not that killing the boss is that difficult or it takes longer with a good weapon. It's just that if you're lucky, the map that you're going through will be shorter, and it will be consequently much more quicker to kill the boss. And so here I look over the top of the greenhouse and I don't find anything, and I just am slightly disappointed at this point, and I'm like, okay, I'm here, I did what I'm here to do, and I'm just gonna now rush towards the exit as fast as I can, and hopefully just do this again. This process is much more easier with the frost, just because if you watch the previous video, you can just stand on top, pop your snow globe, and just shoot away. I'm lucky that the exit is not that far away and the video is almost over. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you really like my videos, please subscribe. That